Hey everybody. I said, let me be a little cute. At first, I wasn't gonna. I was like, I'm just gonna sit and give them the information. And I said, let me be cute. Sometimes it's good to, just try to be a little cute and not look like what you've been going through, not look like your day. You know what I'm saying? Not look like your week or your month. And I'm gonna keep doing this because I love these sleeves. This was a birthday gift from my sister-in-law. Thank you, my Binti. Um, anyway, let's get right into it. I was going to sit here and be like, let me wait and wait and wait, like people do for people to join live sessions. However, I know that most of you are going to be catching this on the replay because I got inbox so many questions. Usually when I'm like, send me a question in the inbox for something that I'm going to do based on offering information, I don't get not a near inbox message, no questions, nothing. Today, I have over 11 questions here. So I'm going to try to be really brief because this live was supposed to be like dive in, give some information, answer questions live, and dive, get right back out. However, I have over 11 questions here. So, and that's after I get through what I want to say. So let's try to make this quick. Hi, welcome, greetings. I'm Amina Hextall Suma. And for this trip I'm about to talk to you about, I am pretty much the manager of the trip, your travel agent. If you have questions about the trip, if you have questions about how to get there, if you have questions about visas, if you have questions about passport, if you have questions about anything having to do with the trip, I'm your gal. Okay, you hit me up, you message me, and I will answer any questions to the best of my ability. Now, the host of the trip are members of Ballet Ansun, Ansun Kaba, and my husband, Sekou Suma. But if you have questions, like I said, you can direct them my way. Or if you need any assistance, you can direct them my way. So before I even jump into what I want to talk about, I just want to say it's a flash sale. We're having a flash sale. If you can give $100 deposit by 12 a.m. the latest, July 28th, you can still qualify for the early bird price. Hey, Mandel. And happy birthday. Okay. Yeah, but that's family, by the way, guys. Anyway, if you travel on this journey with us, and you do the early bird, you get all of the same things as everyone else. The first week would be $800 if you're only doing 1 week. If you're doing 2 weeks, it'll be $1,400. Huge discount. The regular price is $900 a week, or for 2 weeks, it is, shoot, my mind is going blank right now. For 2 weeks, I believe it's $1,600. Okay, so you get a big discount if you catch the early bird. And this flash sale is letting you hold your early bird price for only $100. The deadline to catch the early bird is a $300 deposit by August 1st. Now, who am I? Why am I the one telling you about this trip and everything? You're welcome. I'm Amina Hextall Suma. As I said before, I have been traveling back and forth to West Africa since I was probably 20, 21 years old. Been to Senegal several times. I've been to Guinea. I pretty much might as well live in Guinea. I've been there so many times. And so I started thinking about doing these type of trips when I was talking to my husband, and he had an idea. He wanted to do trips. And I've been wanting to do retreats. So we just collaborated our minds and put them together. I'm also a professional West African dancer, but I would consider myself at this time to be more of a healer of, healing arts, a healing artist, intuitive guide. I'm certified master spiritual life coach. certified in many other things. Things that you'll learn more about if you journey with us. Okay, I've been dancing for, yikes, you're gonna know my age, for 45 years. Okay, I've been dancing since I was 3 years old. So dance is my first language I've ever really knew. And drumming, drumming is always a part of my spirit. Just connects me to my ancestors, and I am an ancestor dancer. One of my nicknames, well, was anointed Egungun, which is like anointed ancestral dancer. So anyway, enough about me. Let's talk about my travel experiences, yo. Um, Going to Africa, West Africa specifically, gets better and better the more you go. I've been going since the 90s. So I have seen West Africa go through some huge changes. But why I'm like stressing everybody to go at this time is because, for one, the climate in the world right now is very shifty, very shifty. And I feel like if you have not had a chance to get to the motherland at least one time, you're going to regret it by the middle of 2026. Because I just feel like so many things are happening in the world right now that it's either going to become dangerous or impossible to do a lot of international travel. So to me, your bucket list should say Africa as number one. Um, Now, what else I want to talk about? My own experiences traveling to Guinea have always been pretty good. I mean, every time I travel, I have, you have your hiccups and you hit your bumps and you say, okay, next time I'm going to do that different. And you do. And it gets better and better and better as you gain more knowledge about, what it's going to take to travel there. I would say now is the best time to travel. You don't really need COVID shots. They're not checking for that. Not saying don't get it, but if you're one of those people who was like, I'm not trying to hear that, you don't need it right now to get into Guinea. They don't even look for it in the airport leaving America. The main thing they look for is your yellow fever shot. You got to have that. The place I went, I got a lifetime shot. Like, I don't ever have to get a yellow fever shot again. Thank God, because I do not like vaccinations. But that's the main thing they look for besides your visa. Okay. Um, my advice, I would say, is to make sure you hit me up. If you are someone who has never traveled to West Africa before and you're not really sure about passport, visa, and flights, okay? Because I would hate for someone to book a flight that takes them all around and about Africa or all around and about Europe before you even get to the motherland. So, or to Guinea specifically. So make sure, if this is your first time traveling and you're going with us, you hit me up if you're going with us. Okay. Us is the Suma Center. We're based right now. We do our work out of Sheikh Mustafa Berete Jimbays. I'm sure everybody who has ever been to Guinea knows of him, or who buys drums in America knows who he is. Beautiful place, safe, secure, family friendly. Him and his wife, wonderful people. And so it's and the rooms clean, your own bathrooms. It's really, really a nice place. Balcony, you can sit outside, enjoy the beautiful air and the music. So yeah, I feel like it is the place to stay. I mean, and as somebody who wants to experience Africa as an African and not as a tourist, it is a wonderful, this trip is number one for that. Um, all right. So what else was I want to make sure I cover everything. About BOGNESSA, the purpose and the mission. All right. BOGNESSA is the Susu word for peace. And BOGNESSA's purpose, when I started thinking about how I wanted to put this forth, the purpose was to give back to Guinea, because I always felt like everybody takes and takes and takes, and the artists travel and they give and they give and they give, and people come to Guinea and they take and they take and they take, but no one ever comes to give back. No one ever comes to say, okay, what can I do for Guinea? What can I do for West Africa. What can I do for Africa? So when I came up with this idea, it was to create a peaceful connection between, or a bridge between those that visit Guinea and love the culture and the people of Guinea, where I felt like we would be coming to unify, to create a peaceful bond more so than coming just to feed off of the energy of the land. So BOGNESSA is the main purpose is to serve Guinea. But at the same time, in serving and giving back in the ways that we plan to, we also plan to, I don't want to say, how can I say this without sounding like we're taking, but we do plan to ground, to connect to the land, connect to the people, and regain our own peace of mind while there. And a lot of times, how you do that is by digging deep, connecting to your roots, connecting to the arts, and just going within and pulling yourself outside of your comfort zone, which is usually your homeland, where you're from. Hey, Afua. I'm seeing people join in. Um, so now I'm going to get to the questions, okay? But as that, the purpose and the mission, it really is to give back to Guinea. And we do plan to do environmental work. There's a beach specifically in Caporo. I always say Caporo, that's my New York accent. Caporo, that could use some assistance. There's family that we're gonna learn how to cook, but we're also gonna be serving. There's a few things. I'm even bringing some mini solar panels to start to help some people set up solar panels where when electricity goes out, they can still charge their phones. They can still use cooking appliances, their refrigerators, and things like that. Not big enough that they can, do the whole house, but good enough that when electricity goes out, yeah, that's another thing. You do have to anticipate that. Electricity may go out in the middle of the day. You might not have electricity for hours. So having a solar panel with you is a great idea, okay? It is a must, all right? So that you can still stay connected. All right, now there's a lot of questions here, and like I said, I figured the people who submitted them are probably going to watch the replay because I don't see none of them here live, but let's go. All right. So first question was, am I going to be on the trip? Yes, I am. I know some people remember when I was helping. I helped with a few other trips to Guinea, and no, I did not attend. That wasn't because I didn't trust the trip or the person hosting. I didn't attend because I was having an issue with my passport at the time. Passport, visa, everything is fine now. Yes, I will be on my retreats. If you've gone on BOGNESSA retreat before, I will be there. Okay. Next question I had. Why this trip? Okay, now, and I'm not going to say the names of the people that submitted because some people were saying, like, I have a question, but I don't want to be put on blast. So I'm just reading the questions, okay? Why this trip? There's, now the person I put, there's many other trips to Guinea. Why this one? So I feel like there may be some people who are stuck between all the different trips they see. Well, this one, I don't really consider a trip. I see it more as a journey. And when I say journey, I feel like because you begin the process the moment you put your down payment, it's like the journey begins. Now you're starting to get yourself into the mindset. I'm going to be traveling every month. I'm putting a little bit forward. I'm getting my welcome packet, which tells me everything that I need to know to prepare for the trip, what's happening on the trip, even some words that I can know already in advance, even though there will be language classes. But the journey begins the moment you put down your deposit. So I would say this trip is a lot different with that. Also, I'm hands-on. You can hit me up. I do take calls. I make calls. I know I'm not really good with the phone, but if I know that you're going to call me, I can be prepared or by my phone. And I can give you the hours that are best. The days like Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, my best days. What else? This trip also includes 2 gifts in your price. What you pay, you will also get, and I meant to have it with me, and I know I was going to forget. One of the artists on the trip, he's actually, I don't know if he's still watching, Usman. Hey, he makes design original bags and matching shoes. Everybody on the trip, masculine, feminine, will get their own. Also, you will also get, now I remember to have this next to me. You also get a copy of my book, Unleash Your Energy, which is like a journal for you to journal, to answer questions and fill out day by day on your trip. And now somebody decides they want to pull into where I live, blasting music. Hopefully they'll leave. What else? This trip actually offers ancestral connecting and rituals. So there will be after hours people that want to do breath work with me, who want to tap in. And that I'm just going to jump to one of these other questions because someone asked, are you doing readings during the retreat? Yes, I am. I bring my cards wherever I go. And yes, it will be included. Like, no, I'm not going to read you every damn day, but during certain sessions, I will pull cards for those that want. Usually the evening sessions when we're all like chilling after dinner, nothing else to do, no classes, I might say, okay, hey, want some intuitive guidance if I feel called or moved to. All right. What else? Oh, this trip also has Wi-Fi. That answers another question. How do someone asks, can I work? Can I work while I'm on this trip? I work online. Yes, you can. We are probably the only, and I can almost affirm after helping so many other people, we're probably the only trip that will have Wi-Fi for free. I can almost guarantee we will. Because we're gonna buy our own modem for everyone on our trip to connect to. It's included. So if you're somebody who has to be online, who has to work from home, yes, you can. You can still work with us. This trip is also family friendly. I know a lot of trips to Guinea include going out to clubs and nightclubs and having parties and things like that and drinking and smoking. This trip, no. My husband doesn't drink or smoke at all. I like to drink on my leisure, but I haven't been drinking lately. You know, you're married, you try to, whatever. But anyway, I have a sip when I feel like it. But there ain't gonna be no drinking and smoking on this trip. This is BOGNESSA. It is a retreat to detox from everything. So you're gonna be finding peace within and through connecting to Mama Africa, not drinking and getting drunk, not smoking and getting high, not smoking and getting nicotined up. No, you're supposed to leave this trip feeling more healthy, not worse or totally out of it. So why this trip? You can bring your kids. There's no drinking, there's no smoking, there's no partying. Now, if you decide you want to go on a nightclub excursion on your own, we will have guides there who can take you. But as a group, we're not doing an excursion to a nightclub. No, you could do that in America, in Europe, or whatever. Why go to the motherland to do a nightclub? Blah blah blah. What else? Okay, I'm trying to answer all these questions quickly. How do I join the ambassador program? Good question. You have to message me and say I want to join the ambassador program, or you can just start to advertise. And if you feel like you can get a minimum of 5 people to want to go, then you should hit me up. Like, yo, I got some people interested. How can I affirm that I'm a part of the ambassador program? Now, that's really how you join. Now, if you tell me in advance that's what you want to do, I'll start to send you promos and advertisements that you can use on your page, you can use on your own. I'll be in NYC next month. I'm going to try to have some printed up to hand out. But if you want to be an ambassador, you can ask for some. I can give you some copies. But that's really how you join. How it works is by how many people you can get to go. A minimum of 5 people gets you a week for free. 10 people, 2 weeks. You could get over 10, your flight and everything is included. So if you're really serious, you can, because we're all members of different groups and different things online. I'm barely on Instagram, so somebody could really make a killing on Instagram. But yeah, that's how you do it. That's really how you do it. And then you just let me know. Okay, that's what you want to do. I would say though, put a deposit down, because if in case you are unable to get a certain amount of people, you still want to be able to get that early bird. You don't want to just sit and wait and be like, damn, I should have put that 100 down or that 300 so I could hold that early bird by August 1st. Because if you're like, oh, I'm not able to get this many people, but I wanted to go on a trip, now you're going to be stuck trying to get the full price up, which isn't that bad, but it can be when you weren't expecting to pay it. Um, what do you advise? I wrote this like chicken scratch. I was writing so fast. What do you advise? I'm gonna come back to that. I can't read that good. What do you do for New Year's? For New Year's, there's gonna be a big concert. It's gonna be a celebration, cake, all that good stuff, ice cream, good food. Yeah, we're gonna have a good time. Fireworks, all of that. Drumming, we're gonna have a good time. Um, where do we stay? Look at the video promo. I'm literally walking down the balcony. That's the balcony of where we stay. If you are not clear on the place, you can always ask me to send you photos. I got photos in the room, videos inside the room. You could also go to my YouTube channel, The Inseparables. If you're not like, oh God, I don't look at you and your husband be mushy together, and you just want to see the place and the rooms and the land, go to that channel, The Inseparables, and all my videos from my trips are there. All right. What else? Blah 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 blah. Where do we stay? What do we do for New Year's? What's S.T.E.A.M? Someone asked, what's S.T.E.A.M? You must be somebody who does not follow my page. S.T.E.A.M is the technique I created, Soul Transforming Energy and Movement. It is included in the workshops that we're going to be offering. It's a morning thing I'll be offering. I'm not really a morning person, so I don't want to say every morning, but in Guinea, you forced to get up. You'll hear the singing from the mosque, you'll hear drumming, you're going to get up. So I'm going to try to be up in the mornings to do breath work and some movements and healing stuff, because I should. Hey Frank. So yeah, that's pretty much, that's what S.T.E.A.M is. It's actually a healing technique that incorporates West African movement, music, meditation, hand mudras, and all that good stuff. Um all right, good question here. How is your trip a retreat if it's based in the city? Good question. All right. The trip is a retreat because the space that we're staying in is closed off from the city. It's a gated space, number one. So it's not like the city life is walking all in and out and through and around where we're staying. Number two, the things that we offer allow you to retreat. So meditation, if you should be able to meditate and shut your mind down wherever you are. But doing those sorts of things, breath work, all of that, it is why we're able to do a retreat in the city, is because S.T.E.A.M, the technique, helps you to shut out everything and really connect within, connect to your ancestors, connect to the Most High. Okay. Um, but I wanted us to be based in the city, at least until the Suma Center has completed a project that we're doing somewhere else, because it puts you in the heart of everything. There's other classes we can go to nearby. There's market. The market is right out there. There's restaurants right out there, right outside the gates. There's another ballet. There's like so much right where we're staying. But once you walk through them gates, you're kind of like in your own world. Yeah, you're safe. It's secure. There's people sitting up all night making sure you're good. What else did I? What other questions I got? Yes, it's a private. You do have a private room unless you want to share it with someone. Um, Running water, unless electricity goes off, there is running water. But you can gather, you can collect water. So you shouldn't experience having no water in your room to wash with. What other questions y'all sent me? Is this trip open to all races and ages? It is family friendly. It is open to all races, but I am going to tell you, there is a focus on ancestor connecting. So if you're not someone who identifies with having ancestral roots in Africa, then you probably will feel like this is not for you. But being that I feel that's the basis of um civilization and the beginning of origins of humans, I feel like everybody should be able to connect. What else are y'all asking? The rooms are clean. Yes, the whole place is clean. What else? No TVs. No, that that's the whole point in it being a retreat. There's not going to be a TV. Now they are talking about installing TVs. I did speak to his wife, Mustafa's wife. She was saying they're thinking about putting TVs in the rooms, which I think is cool, but I could do without the TV. But whoever asked that question, I ain't gonna say your name. I didn't write the names next to the questions anyway. But no TV unless you want one, I guess, in your room. AC, there are rooms that have AC for extra price. I like the rooms with the fans because sometimes I feel like if it rains and I come inside, or if I was sweating and I come into a room with AC, I'm scared I'm going to get sick. So if you want AC, you let me know, and there's a little bit of an extra price for the rooms with AC. Otherwise, all rooms have fans. If you want to bring mosquito spray, don't ask me about malaria pills. I'm on the fence with that. I'm not going to tell you to do it. I'm not going to tell you not to. Yep. What else? But I will say you can bring some spray, mosquito spray, if you feel. We will not be there. Our trip is not there during rain season, so no, it will not rain a lot. It will be very, very hot. Very hot. You'll pray for the rain. How much space is left? I would say about 15 spots. I'm pushing for 20. That's why I want at least 20 people. So let me know. What else? When's the deadline? I just said August 31st for the trip period to have your deposit in, unless you're trying to get the early bird, which it's earlier. Who will be teaching classes? Members of Ballet Ansu, but we will also make excursions to other workshops. Yusuf Kumbasa does a community class. We might stop by there on the weekend. There's always classes over at Bomboya, which is next door. There's a ballet right behind where we're staying. Don't worry about dance and drum classes. No, you don't need dance and drum experience. That's a question here. You don't need dance and drum experience. We're going to have dance and drum. We're going to have food cooking workshops. We're going to have visual artists come and teach. I'm working on that right now. So dance and drum experience isn't necessary. And there will be teachers for those that want to dance and drum but are beginners as well as advanced. Describe a typical day. Describe a typical day. Oh yeah, there is a lotion there for mosquitoes. Now I didn't know about that when I had went before. I was burning citronella incense, and they was looking at me and laughing. The mosquitoes was looking at it like, "The hell is this?" and flying right past it. So yeah, the lotion is a good idea. I don't really like the sprays because then you walk around with a stench all day, smelling like it. But there's people who do it. A typical day would be getting up in the morning, doing a STEAM session with me, having breakfast. After breakfast, either a class or traveling somewhere. Lunch, then there's a class or you travel somewhere. Dinner, a class or we travel somewhere. And then it's the nighttime things like little drum circles, singing lessons, things like that. Just things for fun. All right. What other questions are here? I answered that one. Will there be an early bird extension? No, there's not going to be no extra time for the early bird. I've given y'all long enough. I've been advertising this forever. There will be sewing workshops for those of you that are fashion designers. There's two tailors we're working with. What's the last day to deposit for the trip? August 31st. Unless I didn't fulfill my quota, then I'll push it. I'll extend it. And I think I answered all the questions. Can I work abroad? Blah, blah, blah. There's Wi-Fi. Yes. who will be teaching? Describe. Okay. So yeah, pretty much I answered everything. If anybody has any more questions, you can inbox me, message me, and I have no problem answering it. Yeah, thanks a lot, Frankie, for your input. Because he's pretty much there, so he knows what's up. So any questions, ask me. It's time to get to traveling. Especially if you live in America, because Trump is trying to cut everything off. So now is the time. We have the National Ballet of Guinea. They visas approved. They're going to be in America next year in Queens, New York. So I feel like right now, make your moves for Guinea. Because they're already saying no visas coming out of Ghana. No, they're cutting off Africa from us. So it's time now. We got to get over there. We have to get over there. And like I said, BOGNESSA is really about a peaceful connection between travelers and Guinea. We're going there to not just learn, but to give back, to help, to do things, not just to come and take of the culture, which I feel like has been happening in Guinea for far too long. Even the artists, I feel like, need to be coming and putting more stuff back into Guinea. There needs to be a freaking Sekuba Bambino city, like there's an Akon city, So it's time, you know. Yeah, yeah. When I came back from Guinea this last trip, I lost like 13 pounds, and I had went there. I was 213 pounds. I came back, I was like 199 or 200, something like that. Yeah, you will get in shape. You will get your health right, as long as you're eating right and taking certain precautions. So I'm excited, looking forward to hosting a group this year, and a large group, not like 2 people, at least a minimum of 5. So let me know if you're interested, and I'll see y'all in Guinea, hopefully. Peace, blessings, and all that good stuff. Later, y'all.